CGC bans a YouTube content creator. And is the SAG-AFTRA strike really over? We're going to talk about it tonight because it's Tuesday night. It's Comic News Weekly. Sit down, buckle up. If you like collecting and reading comic books and watching news about things relating to comic books and content, you're in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, smack one of those reactions, and buckle up in the live chat and hang out with us. And we'll talk tonight because we got some great topics. But before we get into the topics, we're going to do what we do and roll with the punches and get the guest host in tonight. And then we'll roll into the chat as people start hitting the ground hard, running, hitting the pavement running is what we're looking for. Holy shit, it's been a day. X11 Bravo, what is up, man? GT Key Comic, good to see you guys. We'll get back in the chat in a minute here, but without further ado, it's the bearded man, the myth, the legend, and the only thing beyond him is beyond Wednesdays. It's Bryan McClay. What is up, brother?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm better now that you guys are here. I absolutely love hanging out with you guys on Tuesdays.
Dude, I've been watching your epic pack openings, and that auto you pulled, whoo-wee.
The Finn auto. So before we pop Bryan in here, I gotta admit to you, man, this is my guilty pleasure. I collected cards as a kid, basketball, football, baseball, and didn't really have anything to show for it all the years, but I've discovered through you guys card pack ripping, but I'm more into the non-sports card stuff. And then YouTube Shorts, it just seems kind of fun to create that content. And there was that Finn signature right on one. And I like making a whole series out of all of them.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. It was good stuff. Very good.
Yeah. Speaking of sports cards, our regular resident or our knowledgeable resident about sports cards, more so than I, welcome Ryan Rhynoverse. What is up, man?
The Falcons went down, but we're still 2-1. So everyone else can kiss my ass. Biggity bow.
Is that what the Lions are at now too? 2-1?
Can't
remember.
Yeah, they're not.
Who's the starting quarterback for Atlanta?
Desmond Ridder.
Oh, they got him starting, huh?
Yeah, he's actually doing
well.
He's doing it right. He's exactly what I thought he's going to be, which is he's a game manager. So that's basically, and as long as he's good with that, he handles his role right, he'll be good. He has a lot of talent around him, so he doesn't really have to do a whole lot because he does have so much talent around him. But he had a couple of miscues, but he's still. I mean, the team is really they're really responding to him well, and in the coaches and everyone. So, but I think the best thing to come out of Atlanta right now is Arthur Smith, their coach. He's got an amazing mustache right now, and and he's just great to watch. If you watch any of his his after their games or any of the interviews he does, he's very good. He's a very good interview to watch.
I bet.
I love
coaches like that.
He's the son of the guy who created FedEx.
There we go.
Speaking of shipping things, before we get into tonight's topics, we're going to ship ourselves right over to the live chat tonight because this is pretty interesting. This jumped on me. What's up, Chad? I'll get to you in a second. Glitter and Duct Tape, one of the longest running community members that I've known for forever. Hey, Andy, somehow I got unsubscribed to you. That's YouTube doing its funny YouTube weirdness. And thank you so much for the comments on the videos. I'll get back to those a little bit later tonight after Ahsoka. Welcome back, Glitter and Duct Tape. Seriously, I love seeing you guys in the live streams, especially Chad Cave here every week. Where'd you get that? Drops in for those pack unrips, which was really cool. And what I like about the pack unrips too, other people in the communities go through them and start picking out their favorites. They're like, I like this one. This one's my pick. And I was like, yeah, I'll comment back and say what mine is. But lots of people rolling in. Kenneth, good to see you, man. X11 Bravo is here as well. Three Rivers Comics. Man, Three Rivers, I think I messaged you. I heard rumor that you won a pack. Is this the Three Rivers that won a pack on Styles Show?
Yeah, Three Rivers Comics won a mystery pack, I believe. So hit up Comics World Florida, Ronnie. I'll put his IG in the chat so he can contact him.
Sweet. Josh Oliver, good to see you, man. X11 Bravo says the only thing flat earthers have to fear is fear itself. Oh, Christ. Save those jokes. Everybody pile up them jokes and save them because yes, Comics Curing Cancer is coming up this October 20th to the 22nd. And we've announced it. We've scheduled it. We've got it set up. And I'm loading up the thumbnail right now because I failed to do it earlier. But here it is. 3, 2, 1. There it is. Laugh for Life, October 21st, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on this channel. Share this channel. Share this. The live feed is scheduled. It's going to be a 2-hour joke fest where we get people to laugh, have a good time. And it's a telethon style event where we're going to be working to ask for donations for the American Cancer Society and bringing awareness to the Comics Curing Cancer event overall. We need you guys there in the live stream to help be moderators, to help share jokes and to bring the good vibes, bring the good energy like we do every week. That's going to be going on there. And speaking of ripping packs, man, Ryan, let's get into tonight's first topic. And I think the easiest thing might be to just kind of share the thumbnail at first. How do we even dive into this a little bit? This is kind of it's not a news article. It's nothing that somebody wrote up or that you can see. There's not really any links. I can bring the YouTube channel up, but CGC officially banned the YouTuber Shiny Vert for something that's quite controversial in the card collecting community and grading, and that's trimming cards. Now, this is a great topic to discuss when it comes to the comic community as well, because we'd be lying to ourselves if we hadn't talked about or heard about the concept of trimming comic books over the last 20 to 30 years, and how does CGC detect that, and how do they prevent it, or how do we as a community prevent comics from getting altered and then them coming back as conserved or with a purple label. But Ryan, man, have you heard of this scenario, card trimming?
Well, there's card trimming, which is a way of kind of like cleaning up the card and taking the fuzz off in the corners and stuff like that. And that's in the card world community. It's a lot different than I think the comic world, as far as like cleaning up a comic. You go through, take out the stains and try to press it and flatten it, and there's a fine line that you don't cross to make it a restoration. Now, card trimming is getting cards and just basically, after they've been around for a while, the edges can get fuzzy or the corners can get fuzzy, and you try to trim them to give them that more sharp appearance. And therefore,
also you trim them. You trim them to get better grading on the centering.
Oh, okay, and then the centering.
Yeah,
but this guy, he wasn't doing that. So what he was doing was,
that's right.
There was a thing with some Pokemon cards that they were cut wrong from the factory, and CGC that said they would take those cards that were cut wrong from the factory and make them as though that was a known error and grade them on the way they were, not taking into consideration the card cut or the shortness of the card or the card being off center or whatever, because it was cut bad from the factory. What he did is he went through and purposely cut cards very similar to like it was from the factory to replicate that look and see if it would pass their grading, and all of them did pass. And so that was his thing, is he called them out because he's like, haha, your thing is not right. You're saying you're going to grade cards that are cut, and you can tell the ones that are from the factory versus ones that we did. And I sent 3 of them in, and he graded them all, and he put all of them that it was cut from the factory on it. CGC caught wind of it because they watched his show, and
somebody sent him his show. Somebody said, hey, what is up with this? Yeah.
So I definitely misspoke. He wasn't quote unquote trimming the cards. He was flat out cutting them. And I watched it.
Yeah.
He cut them lengthwise, widthwise.
He cut him down the length. He cut the length down on them because the error was on the length of the card. So instead of like being this wide, it was a little bit leaner. And it was because it was cut wrong, and it would cut through the actual print almost. So you could tell the ones at the factory were cut wrong. But he was going through and replicating that look and got it through. It's kind of like what old what's his name did when he but he did a legit when he was sending books to different graders and seeing how books were coming back. Like what's his name? You talk about him sometimes on your show, McClay. What is his name? He's in Cali. I forget what his name is, but he's one of your guys that you.
Oh, journos.
No. It's you talked about recently. He sent books off to CGC, CBCS, and he'd crack them when they come back and resend them to another one to see how their grades are coming back.
Yeah, there's been 5 or 6 different YouTubers that have done that over the last 7 or 8 years, for sure.
Well,
like they're trying to compare.
If you guys remember this, there was this guy right here that he faked a bunch of Sarah Pacelli autos to CBCS to see if they would grade them as real. And they did, and he put out this video showing that he faked it, and he got him back, and he did it. And this was let's see, 2 years ago. So, and I don't know if this guy got banned from CBCS. I imagine he did. He said answered everything in his follow-up video, but yeah, I don't know what I feel about that stuff. You know, I can't.
So this guy Shinyvert submitted multiple errors. 2 of them were factual errors. They were crimps at the top, and he was surprised. I guess he didn't even pay close enough attention to the cards when he sent them out to see that. But then one of the cards, he damn near cut down the middle, and they sent it back ungradable because it was more than like 60% of the card was missing, or more than 40% of the card was missing, something like that. But this is one of those cases of it's not always how what you say, it's how you're saying it. Because I watched the video, and all I could see was somebody, or hear was somebody blatantly like attacking CGC on what they were doing. And I think he full well knew what he was getting into, and he was creating content that was going to spark controversy. And he's banned from CGC for life. And then he claims that they're going after for legal action, like Comic Journey. It's like a counterfeit making perfect copies and bragging about it. You're right.
Well, yeah, he was trying to test the system in a sense. He was saying, okay, you say you could tell the ones that are cut and ones aren't, so I'll cut this one and see if it comes back graded or not. Very similar to like you're saying with the autograph. He's testing the system out to see, are you going to take this as a real autograph or not? And then it came back, and he knew that he cut him. He was very outspoken about that after he did it. But that's kind of what they were saying. They're real upset because he kept saying how, and he said he was a big follower of CGC, that he was a big advocate for them and all these other things. But then for them to do something like this, then it really crushed his faith in him.
Here's my thoughts. If you are a big follower and a big advocate of CGC, you wouldn't have put that video out without reaching out to them first and saying, hey, because you know that's going to hurt their reputation. If you're a big advocate of the grading company, you would do it, contact the grading company after you got them back and said, hey, I just want to send these back to you. I just want to let you know this happened. And I would like to make a video about it. If you guys are okay, I'll work with you to do it. But if you guys don't want me to make a video about it, I won't. But, you know, because I am such an advocate of you guys, I want to let you guys know that you have a problem in the system and a problem in how these are being graded. If he really cared about them, that's how he would do it. You know what I mean? That's like somebody telling you constantly that, like, I thought we were buddies and you pissed me off. And for years, I sat there and soaked on it. Well, if you thought we were so close, why didn't you call me and tell me you had a problem? That's how I feel like this. If you were such an advocate and loved CGC, you should have contacted them instead of putting out a video ripping them, because that's basically what he was doing with the video. It wasn't. And so it's like how you said, Andy, it's how you say it.
But
that's the important
what
thing.
would your response be from that you would be okay with? Then that they would be, you know, what kind of response do you expect from that? And then what would be your goal in doing that?
You mean in contacting them, or what would you be your goal in throwing and putting them on Front Street? And contacting, your goal in doing that is being an advocate for CGC and letting them know that they have a problem. They have a problem in their system, and it's not catching these. That's your goal of it. If you're an advocate of your CGC, if you're not an advocate of CGC and you just want views, right, and you just want people you want to be the flavor of the week, you make a video like he did. That's like what did he think was going to happen, right? There's certain things that you do and how you do them that anytime I see that people are going to see it and that you do it a certain way, people are going to be like, what did you think was going to happen? You're an idiot if you didn't think that there was going to be a backlash.
The only thing though, and I hear what you're saying. You're like, if he was doing that, then in your opinion, if he was doing it as an advocate for them, he was doing test out the system. He should have got back with them and say, "Hey, I found a flaw in your system, and I think you need to fix it." Not really,
Yeah.
and then hold that content for later on or whatever. After
So
they
maybe work with CGC to have them come on and do a video and say,
Yep.
you know, I did something with CGC. I worked with them. I contacted them. They're you know, this is what we found out, and they're really and they're working on it to make it better. Here's what they're doing to make it better. Now, if he did that, CGC probably is going to say kick rocks, but you never know. They might be like, you know what, we'll do it, and you're right. We need to fix this. So let's do a thing on it. Let's be transparent, yada yada yada, and it probably would help them. You know.
So I appreciate the comment, really, Brian, because whenever I saw this, I was like, you know, when I heard you say that point, I'm like, he's just going to call and tell them what are they going to say, you know? But then at the same point, if you give them an opportunity to try to make it correct and make it correct, you really are being an advocate or a friend to them, if you will. And so I can appreciate what you're saying, because at first I was like, well, look, he's just saying, look here, I did this, and their system that they're promoting that they know is out there, it's flawed and it's messed up, and all these things and all of it's going to mess up our market, because these things are all, we can send them in like this and they can be come back, so we don't know what's real, what's not.
Yeah.
So he basically, if he didn't finish it all the way through. So I can see what you're saying. I can see what he was doing, and I you know,
well, you don't.
I agree with what you're saying there for sure.
Don't even call them. Don't even call them. Get yourself in front of a camera with a couple of your friends and be like, "Hey, look, I think we've discovered an issue," and call out CGC. Then put up that video like what everybody does in YouTube. Like, it's not what you're saying, it's how you say it. Before you even attempt something like this, put that call to arms. Like, hey, we think something needs to be addressed. Send it off to Matt Nielsen or whoever at CGC that can see this, and invite them on, like Bryan say, for that forum. Be like, we want to work with you and try to find a way. Would you be interested in us submitting some cards? Instead, this feels entirely like somebody that is doing something clickbaity for clout. Because we'll pull up the channel, and the content's engaging and fun from card collecting and stuff like that. But this instance, I'm not talking about the channel overall. Like, I'm not putting a grade on his channel. I'm just talking about this one video or this 2 video kind of setup. And you can see the average amount of views for somebody that's 181,000 subscribers. The roundabout average views from those videos uploaded are 2,000, 1,800, 634, 544, 1,800, 841, and then you get to that, cutting Pokemon cards and grading them, and gets 10,000 views. This is a 5 minutes worth of fame that if he just would have he would have been legendary if he attempted to work with CGC ahead of the fact. Say, hey, I think I found a problem, I'm putting out a video. Those of us in the error card collecting community are worried about this, and we want to help bring this information to CGC. Instead, he puts them on blast and submits the cards, submits a handful of them, and then says XYZ CGC should have caught it because of this, and this, and then turns around and claims that they're going to hit him with legal action. And the only thing he showed was the membership agreement from CGC, where they stated in 2 or 3 of the clauses that if you did this, then you're going to have some consequences. I don't think CGC is doing any legal action. There's no proof that there's any legal action that this guy's showing on his channel. I've seen the membership agreement stuff and the clauses that they put in the letter to say, you broke these clauses, you're now banned.
Yeah.
So this to me looks like 5 minutes of fame that somebody wants to build a subscriber base or attempt to be a part of the community under the disguise of, or the guise of, education and bettering the community. Instead, puts a big company like CGC on blast and does more to hurt the collecting image and more to hurt that error card collecting image. Because now everybody that looks at Pokemon error cards, everybody that's seen this is going to it really kind of hurts that trust in that. And CGC's, they're not going to sit there and go publicly on a bunch of videos and try to rebuild that trust with the collectors, right? So what has this done for the community? He claims it's done XYZ to help bring awareness to the community, to help fix the problem. And yet, looking at this content as somebody who collects cards, not necessarily Pokemon, if I see a Pokemon error card, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to wonder if that was actually submitted correctly or handled correctly now. And then, the follow-up video was, where's the follow-up video where he actually...
What's this guy's name? Shiny Vert. That's his name, right?
Shiny Vert.
It's, the one thing a video does, it shows you a couple ways of thinking, for sure. Because when I watched the movie, I didn't think anything wrong about it. I saw listen to the content and see what, like, oh, he called out CGC or whatever, and on something there. I guess from another standpoint, when you put that out there and you say that, that's a very controversial or difficult thing to say. Like CBCS saying that you can send them a gray or a signature and they'll authenticate it. Man, you're taking on a lot of responsibility in saying that, because how can you really, say that that's a true autograph, other than just being comparative. And that's obviously what something like counterfeit's going to do. So when these companies put these things out there, like if it's a cut card from there, we'll be able to know and tell, and we'll give you a grade, not taking that into consideration. They're somewhat signing up for individuals like this to test them out, and they should have some checks and boundaries maybe in place, because what's going to happen. You're going to have people coming through that are going to be trying that stuff out. But to go through and say, hey, let's try this out again. Here's maybe I can look at your process, and then I'll secretly do one again and see how it does. That's a great side, or great angle to take it to, McClay. So it's at the end of the day, the video itself did make you think about whether it was the right thing or not. It kind of gives you something to think about.
Yeah.
What was I mean, let's be honest. How long has CGC been grading cards? Nowhere near as long as they've been grading comic books. There's gonna be some growing pains. This was the perfect opportunity for this person to be like, hey, I'm curious, and I think there's something that we can address. And that would have been put 2 or 3 people together and say, here's my idea, and I think here's an issue that's at hand with this portion of comic or card collecting and the error stuff. And what do we got to do? Let's team up as a community to try to get this message to CGC to see how we can help them. Because CGC is not going to tell you how they detect error cards. They're not going to give away.
No,
they're not going to give.
Figure out a way around that.
They're not going to give away their intellectual property, which is exactly right. What people would figure out a way around it to still fake the stuff. But instead, just like Comic Journey said, it's exploited them for 15 minutes of fame. And now this video is already water under the bridge with a lot of people. And in 2 months' time, everybody's going to be looking at the next shiny round of Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering cards coming out.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. This whole world, we're in a whole new world, you guys. Like, for the longest time, we thought YouTube was kind of just creeping up and the internet was creeping. But while we thought it was creeping up and we were going to get used to it, it went flying past us. And we live in a social web world now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Everything that we do is influenced by social media and the internet, period. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah.
And
people are going to do weird stuff.
Yeah. And Keith with the comment, grading companies provide a service to retailers, not communities. I would agree with that if those companies only allowed retailers to submit and to grade books. But anybody can be a member of CGC, and anybody can submit cards, video games, comics, magazines. Therefore, it's a community. It's not just a retailer. I'm not a retailer. I have dabbled in selling some stuff a year or so ago, but I'm not a retailer. I'm a collector. I'm a community member first and foremost, and a reader. So I consider that as CGC servicing the community to a degree. If you disagree with that, I'd love to have you on for a show where we could talk about that more, actually, on another topic. But
amen.
Yeah. I feel like there's more meat on the bone to pick away at this, but I mean, that's basically it. How I felt kind of like a little upset that this is clearly just a poke at CGC, and the dragon was awoken, and here you are, you're banned. Oh, don't be upset at being banned for doing something as silly as that.
Stupid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, from his standpoint, CGC's pissed because he got all huffy puffy and went and put a video out. Well, when CGC fires back, don't get your feelings hurt because they fired back at you. They're one to take the first swing,
Yep. Exactly.
What do you think they're going to do? Oh, thanks for outing us into the entire world.
Yeah. Or and taking shots the way he took shots and saying he's an advocate. That's another thing that will piss a company off. You know what I mean? That's like somebody constantly saying that they're buddies with you, and they keep on fucking talking shit, and you're like, I thought we were buddies. What the fuck? That type of shit.
Yeah, he's
So,
the advocate, and how much and how how amazing he was 100% behind him, and then how this completely flips his polar opposite, basically the way he felt, and all that's doing is just trying to get other people to flip,
yeah,
trying to get a following like that way, and it's like, well,
yep. That's
Yeah.
the problem. That's how
Yeah.
people are going to look at it. You're doing it to try and get a following,
And
and
how
you're
is that
not doing
following,
it.
going forward with your channel? Obviously you've been trying to find a niche, probably because you've been trying to do different types of content, and this one's the one that kind of got it got the bait got taken on this one. So
Yeah, I mean,
are you going to continue to try to put new stuff out like that? Because that was what it wasn't about the community, it wasn't about the company. You were basically trying to bust someone, and that was what your content was, to try to create, drama, if you will.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is no different than when I don't know, 10, 15, somebody correct me on the era of time when this happened, but people were trying to marry comic book covers to coverless copies of books and get them graded and submitted. And now CGC is at a weakness with their level of experience with card grading and the sheer number of new employees they've hired over the last 2 years. And this feels like just somebody exploiting a weakness they found with CGC for 5 minutes of fame. Like, they didn't even try to keep it quiet and keep them and sell them.
Yeah.
They put them on blast and got 10,000 views, and that's it. It seems
That's how it is
seems like,
nowadays, man. It sucks, but that's how it is.
and I'm trying to make sure I stay up with the comments too. There's a lot of great back and forth here, and this is exactly what I love about the live stuff is everybody in the chat not always agreeing, which gives us an opportunity to learn and speak and actively listen from different perspectives, so I can learn something new. BlackRock's gonna make an example out of him. I wonder. I think they're just gonna leave it at banning him, though. I don't know if they're gonna take it any further, but
Well, there was a guy, Comic Journey talks about people trimming comics. There was a guy a big, huge case that was known about years ago about a guy trimming comics and getting them graded. So, it happens in all the grading stuff. There's always going to be people out there that are trying to pull one over. But the problem, I think, is that he put it on YouTube and put him on blast like that.
It's not counterfeits happens every day, and there's all types of things, and it's just a matter of you counterfeited somebody, and you took video of it, and you got always to the end, and you found an outcome where you counterfeited them. So again, that's what your content was, and I guess you need to find out who you're going to counterfeit next, because that's what people enjoy. They didn't enjoy the community, they didn't enjoy the comic book or the card or anything like that. It was that you busted someone because you hacked the system, if you will.
I like Rob's comment here really quick, because this is, and I'll talk about really quick, Brian. I was thinking about the error back then. What I mean to say is people were trying to not only marry, but trim and do all that other stuff with comic books. And I don't remember how long ago that was. I did not know anything about this guy till the show, not attacking, but this episode doing, going to get the community a disservice by getting him more time. That's great, honestly, because it's great that he brings this up, because I kind of struggled with, I felt this was relatable to comic books and what's happened in the past. And I feel like this is water under the bridge for CGC, and they'll get better at grading. And Rob, I hope other people in the community don't see this as a disservice out there to them. If they do, please leave a comment, and I'll try to maneuver or set these shows up so they're not necessarily, they're more rewarding to the community then, because this just felt really close to home when I saw this.
Everybody's talking about this, Andy. I don't think it's a matter. Everybody is talking about this. This is a big story, and this is the type of thing that the community, I think, needs to know about, because it shows that there's flaws in the system. Now, there's multiple flaws. There's flaws in CGC system, right? I saw Rob's Fat Stack of Comics says, "Are we defending CGC?" No, we're not defending CGC. Yeah, but at the same time, we're also being real and saying that what the guy expect. If you, there's always this saying. I have a buddy that always gives me this saying, and he's always like, "Hey man, if you talk to me sideways, I'm gonna come back at you sideways." And that's how I look at it, right? If you come at somebody giving them shit, harping on them, yelling at them, they're gonna instantly get amped to a next level, right? So I think that it's just like Andy started off. It's how you say it, and that's the problem that I think we have with this guy, putting somebody on blast. Now, here's the thing. We all put people on blast, right? We all, especially me, I have that drama alert segment where I'm definitely putting people on blast. But the cool thing about these shows and having this roundtable type thing, especially with not just the three of us, but the entire live audience and the people in the chat, is that we can talk about it and figure it out, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here. We're talking about it and figuring it out, trying to decide. We're not putting somebody necessarily on blast.
Well, we're partially putting him on blast because there's a comment coming up that really, and I don't want to. I'm going to skip over a couple just to get to this. Is that what his whole channel is? How to defraud the system? No, not necessarily. But the reason why I took this little personal and realized this is something to talk about within the community is he literally did the same thing with PSA a week later. By if you scroll through his videos, I'm not just going to throw links out there because you guys look at it. Look at the channel if you want. He literally takes another Pokemon card, rips like a sticker or a face off or something like that, and then marries a different sticker to it. And he's like, we're going to try some PSA now.
So this is so he found something that stuck or that lit up, and he's just going to try to replicate it. And that's what I'm saying. What's he going to do now? He's going to try to go to 31 Baskin Robbins or something like that, and turn ice cream upside down and see if it comes out. And when it does, he'll be like, it came out.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not that his whole channel is how to defraud the system, but there's clearly a pattern. I'm going to poke CGC. I got banned. Well, let's mess with a PSA now. And it's like, you're only doing this because you got 10,000+ views on that one video and you're looking for clicks. That's
you're going to get paid.
I mean, Perry, really quick. He didn't get banned for making a YouTube video. He got banned from CGC because he manually cut cards lengthwise and widthwise with scissors on camera, uploaded it, submitted the cards to CGC, got them back graded, unboxed them, showed them unboxed, and showed them coming back as 9.0 errors, and said, haha, CGC caught you. Essentially, that's I'm paraphrasing heavily and shortening it, but that's it. There's two videos up. One's the I cut the cards and submitted them, and the other one is the unboxing, and that's why he got banned from CGC after somebody shared that with CGC and all that other jazz. And he's claiming that they're going after him legally, but the only thing he's proven on camera is that he got a letter from CGC stating that he's being banned for life, and they showed like the 2 or 3 clauses that he broke in his membership contract, which anybody that applies for a membership with CGC or CBCS or PSA or any grading company, that's a legal document. That is a membership clause. So going after him legally, well, he's technically not wrong, but it doesn't sound like they're sending lawyers his way either. So it's like clickbait.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. And I'm sure we're probably going to have another person try something similar here soon and yada, yada. So we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah, let me see. We're going to move on to the next one unless there's another couple of comments in here that we haven't touched up that we haven't talked about. Fraud just to prove a point, you have to face up to the consequences of your actions. In other words, don't be stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joseph. It's easier to criticize the behavior of individuals than it is to criticize the behavior of corporations. I don't know. I don't think so. It's just how much time and energy do you want to put into criticizing CGC or PSA or another avenue? Like if we had a 2-hour episode to talk about CGC, I'm sure there are a lot of things that we could talk about CGC, but I know that McClay, if it were me or you, we would want somebody from CGC on to talk about it and address the questions as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And hear from them directly. If I wanted to defraud, he could easily. Dude wanted to show how flawed CGC is, and there's whistleblower behavior to me to a degree,
little bit, but not if you're throwing it out there and going, haha, look what I did. Like a whistleblower, in my opinion, kind of is doing it the way they should. They're going through the process. There's whistleblower channels and ways to do it. Yeah. Not waving it in their face and going, haha. I don't think that's whistleblower.
They didn't catch it, Perry. They graded the cards and shipped the cards directly back to him, and he could have put them up on eBay as airs that second. So they didn't catch it.
Yeah, so I took it like that too. As like he just called someone out and called, but then I'll be honest with you, McClay gave me another way to look at that and a way to like take it to another level. And it's like I can get behind that because if I like something, I don't like CGC. I think they're a problem with grading. But if it was a company that I liked, that I really was for, That's what I would do. That's you're right. You know, hey, I found this issue. I want to bring it up to your attention. Maybe y'all didn't know about this, and instead of it being coming a huge problem, let's kind of nip this in the bud because you're just starting this deal, and let's go forward. And then later on, we'll make a video on how you had a problem and you came back and fixed it, and how reputable of a company. Every company has problems, but it's all about, you know, how do you finish it in the end. That's a great spin to that, but because it's a positive thing, it's not going to get the same clicks as they, because people like to hear the crap. They don't want to hear that, oh, it was a good turn, it was a good deal.
Negative PR sells, man. And Rob's bringing up what Bryan brought up a little bit ago about the CBCS signature verification. Bryan showed that channel, that video. And yeah, when you go over to Shinyvert's channel and you read the comments on that video, everybody's roasting CGC. CGC is on the pike and getting roasted hardcore. What we want to talk about is this is pretty underhanded, pretty non-forgivable. It's really not forgivable behavior from somebody in a collecting community to do this and then only post about it and share about it after they receive the cards back. Now, this is like, it's about how you say it, not necessarily what you're saying. Like, I'm not saying CGC is free of any issues or free of any guilt or any wrongdoing. We're not defending CGC and we're not saying but there's definitely a better way of doing this and working with a company to say, hey, I think there's a problem. I think I may have found something. Can we talk? Can we open a line of dialogue in a forum here to make this better for the community?
Like if this guy's whole shtick was like, fuck it, I'm going after these people, I'm finding them, fuck them, that'd be one thing. But you can't keep saying that you're you're a fan of CGC, you're a friend of CGC. You can't keep saying that and then throw it in their face like that. That's just gonna cause more problems.
Yeah, this discussion is more about the content, not so much the company. I would say about how he did it, and there's different ways of doing it. And in chat, I think he's saying over here that something about that CGC is like 99% accurate. I think they're one of them, probably the most. They were for a long period of time one of the more inaccurate graders out there. And I mean, that's opinion based, I guess you would say, because I don't know where the data is in that, but I know. And for me, if I wanted to get a 9.8 on a book, I send it to CGC. If I want to correct grade, I send it to CBCS. That was my feeling.
So. I agree with Perry here. People should test them, but there should be like a formal. This is how you win. This is how you win your customers over. When a company like this opens up an official forum or official line of dialogue, or here's a form if you think you may have found a problem. Like, I know, like, we're not talking about just quality problems, but we're talking bigger picture problems for that company and for collectors overall. There should be some sort of formal way to open up this dialogue instead of just doing content and seeing what happens after that content is done, like that, essentially.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's how do you think they're going to react, I guess, is the way to put it. Like, even if you don't agree with it, let's be honest, you have to have common sense in here and understand, like, they're going to react in a rough way.
And that guy over on that channel does bring up what Manny's saying about them being caught misgrading errors for a while. So there's some points being made in there for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, 10 million books versus how many cards? Either way, there's lots of great content or comments coming from the community members. I wish we had enough time to address every single one. Thank you, Keith, for bringing up some great points. I finally was my divorce with CGC today. Thanks to the refund. You all follow your hearts and God bless. I feel like CGC is a tool in my toolbox, just like any other tool, whether it be an open-ended wrench or a socket set. I'm not going to throw it out. I'm not going to kick it out. I might not need it for a long period of time, but it's definitely a tool. It's just a company that provides a service, and it's a service that I may choose to not use for a long time.
Yeah.
Or I may use them. So some people I can appreciate flat out divorce with them. Some people have had such bad experiences with these companies that they're done with them. And we don't all experience the companies in the same way. So thank you for your comments tonight. Where's the stats that show they're 99? Yeah, no, I don't think they're that high, but so legitimate reporters don't take their findings to the public. Instead, they bring issues to the company responsible. I didn't realize that. Well, not necessarily. We talked about a better way of doing it, i.e. like this, opening up a line of dialogue or forum here. It's like, I think we found a problem. CGC, we would like to talk about it. Here is this. Is there any sort of formal line of communication within that company? We're opening up this dialogue instead of just submitting, like, if I marry a cover on a book and send it out and get it back and then do a whole video blasting him like, I faked it and I caught him. What is that really? What benefit does the community really get from that?
Oh, and then you turn around and try to sell it as a one of one.
I mean, there's what's the phrase I'm looking for? There's idiosyncrasies. There's tidbits back and forth for sure. It's not about being right or not about being wrong necessarily. It's more about how this was handled. That was the bigger issue to talk about tonight. And I feel like it resonated with community members because this chat's been popping a lot more than what I'm accustomed to seeing. And we're 40 minutes in and still talking about it.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, I really appreciate Rob's opinion too, based on his experiences with the grading companies, and he's a very experienced individual when it comes to grading books. So, speaking of experience, we might as well move along because this next topic is obviously, or not obviously, but could be pretty short. Sounds like the SAG-AFTRA strike is over, Brian. Question mark?
Question mark? I don't. What are they saying about this? What is the word?
Originally, when I set up the show this weekend, the article that I was reading said that they were in talks for finalizing ending the strike, and they had something legitimate that they were close to completion. And then I wake up the next morning 9 hours later, and it's everybody's posting on social media that they've reached a deal, but the strikes aren't over until they actually sign the paperwork. So I don't know if that's progressed at all today because I was stuck in a long forum at work where I couldn't see what's going on in social media. So if any of you guys have seen what's going on in social media as far as the SAG-AFTRA strikes, if they've signed the stuff and completely ended, I'm not sure. But if they're close, that's progress.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know, it is what it is. I kind of feel like at this point, this thing should have been over a while ago, but maybe I would love to know, like, is this the people agreeing with SAG-AFTRA to their terms, the movie studios? Is that what they're saying? They're going to agree to all the terms, or is this like they're both coming to the impasse together type thing?
I think it's the latter, from what I'm understanding.
Okay.
Is I think they finally presented something that the SAG-AFTRA group is in. Okay, you're close. It's almost like haggling at a flea market with an older guy that's been haggling for 30 or 40 years. You're far away for a while there, and then after a little bit, you might walk away and come back an hour later, and it feels kind of like haggling at a flea market. I mean,
yeah,
I don't mean to downsize it or belittle it down to that, but if you think about the back and forth between them, and then that buyer comes up and offers something, and then the seller's like, okay, yeah, I think we're closer. Let's talk about this a little bit more seriously. And if they're there signing paperwork, then that's the end of it. But they did say on, I think it was Twitter and Instagram or another social media platform, they said that until the paperwork is signed, people are to continue striking. They were just actively stating that people don't have to go to the picket lines right now, I think is what it was. I'm paraphrasing lightly, but.
All right. Well, we'll see. They need to hurry up and get something figured out because they need to. People need to get back to work.
It's
right?
just a separate topic, Sicko. Instead of doing an entire hour on one topic, we just segued into a different topic, and that's the writer's strike.
Yeah.
And how that can impact the community, i.e. streaming media, comics. I'm surprised that comics went basically unadulterated, uninterrupted through that entire strike. And this is just 2 weeks away from being the longest SAG-AFTRA strike ever.
Wow. That's interesting. The longer they go, the more that they piss people off, I think, in my opinion. They're starting to get to the point where people don't care about it anymore, I imagine, other than the people that are involved, that are not being able to work. But I think that the strikes really rely on public opinion. And I think the public opinion is kind of probably getting to the point where they're just like, I don't care anymore.
I would agree with that. I don't know about how you feel, Ryan, but I would imagine that if it continued without end, people would just find another form of content to take in, and i.e. look at IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok.
Yeah, but I think that there hasn't been the impact hasn't been really felt, I would say. I mean, have you really felt a strong? I mean, you've known it's there, but you have a lot of things filling your time, and I don't know if it was really felt that was going on. We knew it was going on. We wanted the best for it, but at least for my sake, things kind of went on as normal. Now, maybe maybe it's going to be delayed, like later on, like in about like 6 more months, when there was a delay between when they were working and when they weren't, and that's when it starts hitting the theaters and so on and so forth. It's when you start noticing it, because you're like, well, why is there a big gap here? I thought they're back to work. We're like, well, yeah, there's a gap, but now it's like a delayed response.
I think this what you're talking about we'll probably feel in 8 to 12 months, maybe even less. I don't know. I'm kind of just throwing something out into the wind there, but I imagine this holiday season, this winter leading into this spring, is going to be very sparse pickings at movie theaters for sure. I mean, they've already pushed back and rescheduled several projects for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and many other things. So what movies were being produced at all in the last 5 months?
Well, here's the interesting thing. So you would think that they would be stronger together like they were. They both kind of were striking at the same time. So now that you have one that's agreed to it and one that hasn't, that really screws the one that hasn't, right? Because you know, they were working with each other to make the weight heavier on the studios, and now we'll see. I don't know, man. I think it's interesting. I don't know anything about that union stuff. I've never been part of a union. I think I don't know anything about unions or anything.
The
so
SAG is still going.
Yeah. The only way I look at it is like I think the AI thing is something that they definitely need to figure out, especially the fact that these studios are trying to use audition videos for their AI stuffs, and you don't get paid for sending in an audition. And they have so many of those audition tapes. They probably have millions upon millions of audition tapes, between the different studios, from all different types of actors, from just people you see in the background to people that have never even acted before, and the big actors too. So the big actors probably have a little bit more leeway with how their AI gets used, and you see a lot of those guys are selling the rights to themselves to these companies for leeway. You've seen a couple actors do that, so it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting. The AI stuff with audition tapes is fucked up though, because then they're just using that. You'll never have background characters, or you'll never have commercial people making money off commercials anymore, because they'll just do everything through AI.
And you had you would have thought by now they would have had some type of agreements in place. Especially dating all the way back to when torrents was a thing. When that became a thing and it started happening to music, it was just a matter of time before those things were going to start happening to visual media as well.
They
and
adapt.
you would, you would thought that, okay, they would kind of know what's going down the pipe, and as they're even creating stuff, like how can this be tracked or how can this be monetized, because this is going to be something that's going to be needed to happen. But the fact that they don't, it's either a laziness or they're turning a blind eye to something until the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I like what Chad Cave says. Chad Cave says he's finally watching, stuff that he's never watched before. He said he watched Daredevil for the first time and fell in love with it, man. And that's a cool thing too. A lot of people are watching. There's so much content out there these days, you guys. There's TV shows, there's movies, there's news, there's sports, there's YouTube, there's streaming. There is so much content out there that you're not going to be able to watch everything. It's amazing.
And thanks to Rob and thanks to you, Brian, confirming that the WGA is potentially resolved. I didn't realize. I thought that the two were hand in hand, that if one was getting a resolution, the other one might be getting a resolution as well.
You would think that they would stand strong to each other like that, but we don't know the background on
that's why we're here talking about this, right? I'm sure if I have these questions and not a deep knowledge of unions, somebody else out there is going to be in the community that's going to comment or be a part of this. So thank you. And on right here, Rob's fact stacked. Rob's got nothing but facts, and Rob is definitely dialed in tonight. So Rob, thank you for your time for being here. Oh, and speaking of Rob, we definitely did receive our, I got to go big picture for this. I got to go big picture for this for just a moment, because it came in. Hey, Key-Man, there's the Comics Curing Cancer t-shirt set up for this October, and this beard's so long, we're going to have to braid it and get it out of the way just to show off the t-shirt. But yeah, get your Comics Curing Cancer swag at the Rob's Fat Stacks. His channel has the link there, and all of the information is down below in tonight's show. You can find it all down below for the Comics Curing Cancer link and the link to Rob's channel and to the store. So you can order your own Comics Curing Cancer t-shirt, and the proceeds do benefit the American Cancer Society. That event is coming up, and we'll talk more about that towards the quick end. But yeah, we're about the 50-minute mark. We're running pretty strong, guys.
Got a lot. It's a huge new comic day, brother. Absolutely massive this week. Lots and lots of books. So,
and I watch Chat Cave. This is why I love the community. It's not about agreeing. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just about being here and being a part and learning more for me, and talking about this stuff, because what I might think is something that is really a topic that we want to bring awareness to and learn from. You're going to have people in the chat be like, you're wrong. And some of them felt like that tonight. And I greatly appreciate that, because it made me kind of rethink about how I should approach some topics. And this, I may have approached it a little bit wrong, but either way, like you said, a lot of people were talking about it for sure. And here we are with New Comic Book Day.
And
I want to say,
drop.
I'm on budget. I'm on budget this week for New Comic Book Day.
bro, there are a ton of good books this week. Starting off with Ultimate Invasion 4. This cover right here is absolutely beautiful. Francis Manapul cover, and this is the whole storyline with a Stark being a Kang. So I would suggest, if you pick up this issue, pick up this Manapul variant. It is amazing, absolutely beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's cool. The Usagi Yojimbo Scotty Young. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's a good cover, but it's not the best. I like it though. I definitely like it.
That's Scotty Young? Oh, I see it at the bottom.
Yep.
I like it. It just doesn't strike me as a Scotty Young cover.
It's good. It's good. So this is Usagi Yojimbo. This is the Ice and Snow Part 1 of 5. So this is the cover B, Scotty Young. And there's a lot of good covers for it. I'll go through the covers real quick. Lots of good covers. You can see, this is a good one right here. I really like that one. There's the Virgin for that. Film Mason exclusive, Condemned Comics exclusive. This is a good one right here. The Paulo Rivera cover C, I like. And then of course the Sakai. And then this is interesting, Dave Dorman. Very interesting, Dave Dorman. This is the Bartling and David Mack. Look at that. That's crazy. And there's the Scotty Young, of course. So, Void Rivals number 4.
Spoiler.
The spoiler cover is amazing. I'll just tell you guys that. So,
holy crap, Manny.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you saying this because you know, or you?
I know. Yeah, I know. I saw. Well, you can go find it. It's easy to find right now. It's pretty dope. But here's the other covers.
Is it machine or human?
It's machine. That's a great cover. The 1 in 50 is a great cover. And then the Harley Quinn Frizen cardstock variant. Mr. Longshort is going to go crazy over this, and he should, just like the rest of us. Yeah, what a beautiful cover. There's some other good covers in this too. You got the Rose Besh Chibi. You got this beautiful Sway cover. This is the 1 in 25. And then this is the 1 in 50 Corin Howe. And then, of course, the regular. And then there's a cardstock variant of that one. So,
speaking about Void Rivals, Rob brings up a great point. Transformers next week.
Yep. Immortal Thor number 2. This is the Del Auto cover, and it is beautiful, man. I love this cover. It is so nice. This is the Perez 100. This, man, the 1 in 25 Del Auto is so good.
Make that a full image. Can you
on a screen share? That's as big as you can get it with.
That's as big as
yeah. I can try this. And it got a little bit bigger, but
that's what she said.
That's what she said. Jesus.
So that's a good one right there, man. 1 in 25 Del Auto. Dude, to me, this is probably cover of the week. Look at the Virgin variant of this. Hold on. Let me show you the Virgin variant. What's going on here? What's going on here?
This is the selection thing.
All right. This is the Zerdy Invincible Iron Man 10 cover.
Wow.
I love stained glass.
Stained glass.
Yeah, stained glass windows. I love the stained glass cards. I just love this look, and this is beautiful, man. Beautiful Zerdy. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's Invincible Iron Man number 10. Power Girl number 1 has so many damn good covers. This is the regular cover by Ariel
Looks
Diaz.
powerful.
Yeah, look at this. It keeps getting better. Hold on. Look at that. This is the cover
giddy
B by
up.
Ariel Diaz, full bodied.
Now
Yeah.
is there a defined line going down the center of her belt there?
That's her suit. That's her suit.
And it goes all the way. Just keep going all the way down.
Yeah.
That's weird.
This is the John Boy Myers, and it's excellent. This is the Souza Micah, and it's excellent.
Missing the line. Man, look at those thighs. Good Lord.
I know. This is just amazing. Here's the cardstock blank. This is the Warren Lau foil.
God dang, look at those thighs.
Yeah. And then this is the incentive 1 in 25 wraparound. And the 1 in 50 Frank Cho.
And
the 1 in 100 Warren Lau.
God, the look on her face makes me think of that first real glimpse of sunlight in springtime in Michigan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is she's on mushrooms.
Ivan Talavera variant, which is beautiful.
I don't know because I'm looking at the picture.
It says Williams though, which is interesting, but it also says Talavera there. Williams must be the colorist. Look at that. That's freaking gorgeous. Every cover. That's the Virgin variant. This is the Natalie Sanders.
I love when they do covers like that. The magazine covers. Those are cool.
This is the Zerdy.
That Zerdy looks dirty.
I like the tattoo.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And then this is the Warren Lau exclusive. So every cover, there's like a ton of them, but every single one is good. So great job, DC. Continuing to kill it. This Rose Besh is beautiful. This is the Tales of the Titans number 3 Rose Besh variant. Oh, I'm not a fan of Rose Besh usually, but this one is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then there's more. This is the 1 in 25 Forbes cover. The 1 in 50 Skylar Patridge cover. And then, of course, the Besh. There's another Besh Chibi variant for Wildcats number 11. And this has a good lyrics cover too, or lyrics Lee cover right here for Wildcats 11. Star Wars, great covers in Dr. After this week. Oh,
here we go.
This cover is great, but it's not the best one. This is the regular cover, like the Vecchio cover variant for Dr. Afra. Look at this. Look at that. That's badass. The Crash of the Exeter. That's great, but not as good as the EM Gist, Ahsoka Clone Wars 15th anniversary, Ahsoka with the owl. Oh, man. And then there's a beautiful Derek Chu.
This is what I wish they would do more with certain Star Wars characters, is get these action covers back out and back in our hands, so to speak.
I agree.
There's Chopper.
Casanovas.
Finally Chopper on the connecting.
Yeah, and the 1 in 100 Gist is beautiful.
So I did not get the Virgin variant for everybody that's been asking. I have an opinion about this, and it's just Star Wars 1 in 100s don't perform well over the first 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is a gorgeous cover, and I do want it, but I want a graded 9.8 of this, and I might just wait until the pre-orders flood the market and the supply is higher than demand, and I can try to get one for as efficiently or as cheaply for my collection as I can to hold. Because it's going to be, it's going to sit in the Ahsoka Sanctorum wall over here, and I don't want to pay. This is exactly why I like doing the Wednesday New Comic Book Day show, because for years I bought every ratio variant for Star Wars that hit, and I learned a lesson, especially with Boom Studios buying everything that comes out. All of these ratio variants, 90% of them don't do well over the first year.
Yeah.
They don't hold ratio. And my LCS is going to want $100 for this cover tomorrow, and they didn't even get it, because if they did, it would have been in my pull box, and they would have had it priced at $99.99.
Wow.
They didn't even order 100 copies.
Well, there's another great Star Wars cover, this time by Ryan Brown without the E. This is Mandalorian Season 2, number 4. Great cover. And then there's the concept art variant. And then here's the Daniel Warren Johnson variant, who has been killing it with Void Rivals and Transformers. And this Ryan Brown cover right here is beautiful. This is the A variant by Ryan Brown. I like how there's like that purple light kind of. Just really nice. So be on the lookout for that. Tales from the Cave. Mad Cave Studios putting out, this looks like an anthology thing. You got Nottingham, Hunt, Kill, Repeat, and Battle Cat stories, but I love Jack-o'-lanterns, so it's a cool cover to me. Detective Comics 1074. This is a Lobos Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's good, but I will continue to say that the best Lobos covers have some type of background behind them. And I know there's a background obviously behind it, it's just the light, but when he does more with the background in his covers, they hit more. You know, the Bane one that they put out, the swimsuit issue that he put out. But I still like it. But Lobos is gonna be artist of the year. It's very hard to beat him at this point, in my opinion. There's more covers with this. This is the Kelly Jones, classic Batman artist, Kelly Jones. If you guys don't know, Kelly Jones is the one that gave Batman the super long ears like this. And that's how you know. I always know a Kelly Jones cover because when he does Batman with those super long ears. Mike Perkins cardstock. That's a cool cover. And then, of course, this is the 1 in 25. That's a crazy looking cover right there. Sebastian Fumara. Say it 3 times. Hopefully one of them works. 1 in 50 right here. And then this is the Godzilla versus Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong variant. So Green Arrow has a really cool variant. This is the Kendrick Kunka Lim cardstock variant. Something about that's interesting to me.
Reminds me of Chung Lee from Street Fighter.
Dude, this Jean Grey, number 2, 1 in 25. Ika Jury is the artist. Absolutely amazing. Just beautiful. So 1 in 25. And then you have the Simonson, this is the 1 in 50 Simonson Jean and Wolverine variant by Walt Simonson.
That's a badass picture right there.
Yeah. And then this Momoko Phoenix variant is interesting. There you go. Moon Knight. It's got an absolutely gorgeous EM Gist cover. You can get this one without the trade dress or with the trade dress. I like it with the trade dress, but it is fan-freaking-tastic.
Absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there it is without. And then there's the Andado. But I love the regular Gist. Beautiful. Miss Marvel and New Mutant. I like this. This is the Alphona variant. And I just like this. There's one with the trade dress or without. I love covers like this where you can look and see all different types of stuff. And it's just really, it reminds me like of old like hide and seek things or Waldo or Jeff Darrow. Who's the guy that did that Batman Snow series? I forget his name. He was amazing. He passed away, unfortunately, but yeah, this is a beautiful cover. And then the 1 in 10 McKelvey design variant is pretty cool. And there's the 1 in 100 Alphona without the trade. So And then the Reader homage variant by Amy Reader. And this is the Vicentini team homage variant. So Star Wars Hyperspace Stories #9 has a gorgeous B cover. I'm a big fan of Cad Bane and Quinn Voss. I think Quinn Voss is one of the coolest Jedis ever. You know, his whole story about becoming a Dark Jedi, and was it Clone Wars, I think, right? That he became the Dark Jedi. Him and he fell in love with Asajj Ventress and all that stuff. I think he's just great. And this, I love how they're doing these old school Dark Horse trade dress too. So very, very cool.
Did you hear about the Godzilla versus Kong books having a version that roar when you open them?
Yeah, I heard about that. They're also
awesome.
doing those scratch and sniff books too. So DC's doing cool stuff, man. This cover,
Maybe Dinesh
when I
had
saw,
an impact on him.
I don't know. When I saw this cover, when it got solicited, I fell in love with it, man. This is one of it. I wish this was a Virgin cover. This is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful cover to the Avengers #5. This is, who is this? Stuart Eminem. Absolutely beautiful. But there's some pretty good covers with this too. You got the Connecting Alex Ross 1 in 100. Look at this, Ben Harvey 1 in 25. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Look at the background. I'm definitely gonna buy one of these on the dip. If there is a dip, you never know. Alex Ross Connecting variant. This is the Mark Brooks Corner Box variant, which are always good. Mark Brooks is top 5 artist in the game, in my opinion. The Cruder variant, 60th anniversary, and then of course the regular, back to the regular. Alice Never After #3. Beautiful regular cover. You can get this without the trade too. This is the Florentino variant, which is gorgeous too. There's the regular 1 in 10 Panosian. And this Sienkiewicz 1 in 25 is very interesting. I'm going to be keeping an eye on what people think about this. Yeah. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on what people think about this. So it comes 1 in 25 with the Virgin, and then you can get the trade FOC reveal variant. So very, very cool.
That's cool.
Action Comics.
Oh, wow.
Will Jack. I mean, Will Jack is just continuing to kill it. Look at this. Hold on. So there's the regular. There's the Virgin. And then, I mean, just beautiful. Trade dress, Virgin, trade dress up close. This is the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
Go Godzilla.
And this is the 1 in 50.
It's hard cards.
And this is the 1 in 25 Raphael Albuquerque, which I can't tell if I like it or don't like it. The face, something about the face throws it off to me, and I can't tell what it is.
Said I want to scratch and sniff that hot blood cover earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful stuff on Action Comics 1057. Batman Neo Gothic #3. This is the Christian Ward. Yeah, Christian Ward. Yeah, wow. Beautiful. Christian Ward's such a great artist.
Nightmare fuel.
Yep. Here's the regular. This is the 1 in 25. Sorry. Yeah, really, really cool. So be on the lookout. And then finally, for me, well, let's go over the Death of Venomverse. Yeah.
Null back in the.
Null is back. So you got the Delato.
You see a lot of Age of Venom all over the place.
Yeah. There's the 1 in 50. The Bagley variant. And then there's the other Saturday morning. Yeah, I do too. So do I. I agree. I think they're good.
I like that they're doing this. Actually,
this is cool too.
IDW did it with awesome. Turtles.
To me, this might be the sleeper hit of the week. This might be the book that you could see like on the Hot 10, you know, the House of Stein Hot 10 #1, you know, type thing. Jeff. Like, yep. People love Jeff the Land Shark. People love the Venomized stuff. People love these design variants. So I feel like this could be a major sleeper. And then finally, the Kendrick Lim. Cool. Yeah. So there you go. And then the Stegman is really cool too. This is the Alex Ross version of Carnage, which was Peter Parker's daughter, if I remember correctly, from Kingdom Come. Not Kingdom Come. What was the one that he did for Marvel? Universe X?
It wasn't a daughter.
Universe X?
Yeah, it was. Was it? No, it was. Who was it? It wasn't his daughter, was it?
Yeah, I think it's his daughter in the Alex Ross universe.
Yeah, I have to remember. Yeah, there's that one was on a bunch of covers. I remember. I liked that cover.
So that's it. I mean, lots of new comics this week for sure. So
if you had an actor that it would portray Null, who do you think he would be?
That's a great question. I hope that Null never becomes a thing, but I'm not a fan of Null. I think Null is a dumb looking character. I think it's really bad looking. But
he's a dumb
that's just
character.
my taste.
But if you had to, like, I have a guy, but because he's he is kind of a weird looking dude. I mean, let me think if I can remember this guy's name. I'm trying to remember his name. God dang it! What is his name? I'll think of it in a second. I'm looking right now.
Tons of books this week, man. So many books. There's even probably a good. Here's for the nerds. We'll check out Star Wars. That's an interesting, or Star Trek. Interesting Star Trek cover. The 1 in 10. The 1 in 25. And the 1 in 50. This 1 in 50 Christian Ward cover might be a hit too.
Excuse me.
That's beautiful. 1 in 100 is even nicer. Holy cow!
Wow.
I can't remember his name, but this is who I think Null is.
Oh, Steve Buscemi.
That's great.
Dude, he looks just like Null.
That's funny, man. So yeah, lots of books this week. Go to your local comic shop or hit up your favorite online retailer and score some good books.
That is a spitting image of Null.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man. Well, what's
well,
that?
I know what Andy's excited for. It says Uno Mas Tingo.
Where did it go? It's gone.
Giggity.
Where did it go?
Are you in a different
brand? She said.
Yep. That's what it is. I didn't catch it in the background. It's what do we got? What, Ryan? What do we got?
Uno Mas Tingo.
I couldn't find anything tonight.
Wow, that is, bro. I know how that is. So one more thing for me. Go check out my channel. I dropped a new Industry of Comics video last night with Bryan Polito, who, of course, creator of Lady Death, Evil Ernie, Chaos Comics, Coffin Comics. Amazing creator, amazing dude. And Billy Tucci, creator of She and Crusade Comics. Also, both of those guys are just great in their field and two of the biggest artists over the last 3 decades, especially back in the early 2000s and the 90s. I mean, you couldn't go look in a comics magazine without seeing something about Billy Tucci, She, Lady Death, Evil Ernie, Bryan Polito, Stephen Hughes. Like, that whole group was just huge. So I got to do a show with those two, and then Jesse James Comics also, who is one of the longest running store owners that I know. I mean, just a really great dude, been doing stuff for a long time. And it was a fun show, a lot of fun. Go check it out. Industry of Comics, episode 2.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to the Industry of Comics for sure. I will be there, so I will not be square. But you can also go to Rhynoverse on the old eBay to pick up your football cards you're looking for. I have currently been in the hosting of all of these plethora of cards that I have. Started yesterday with my Barack Purdy. What?
I said I got to figure out what I need to give you for those cards that we keep on talking about, and I keep on delaying on.
He's getting some zebras. He's getting some zebra cards.
Yep.
But it's been fun for the old football. Again, the Falcons are 2-1, but they'll turn it
Did
around.
you open your Mosaic box?
I did. I opened 2 packs thus far. I'm not the type to go through and just rip the whole box open.
Oh,
I
really?
I like to kind of savor it a bit. And
Yeah.
so I'll make the little personal breaks like I got what I'm gonna do after here. I'll buy a blaster of another one or maybe a couple of blasters, and I'll kind of open them in different
That's cool.
series just to have fun with it. But
Yeah.
yep, so
Very cool.
I'll have some autos from that coming out pretty soon.
Nice.
Awesome.
ComicManAndy.
Yeah.
Una Mastingo for us tonight.
Ooh, my one more thing this week is fuck cancer. Seriously. And that's because
Not the good way of fucking it. Do it the bad way.
seriously. My uncle is currently battling cancer. We have a community member currently battling cancer. Comic Books Will Break Your Heart. And we have the Comics Curing Cancer event coming up. I got the t-shirt for it ready for the event. Everybody in the community, please, on the channel is scheduled the Laugh for Life 2-hour episode as part of the Comics Curing Cancer here on October 21st, 6 p.m. That's a Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And come hang out and be a part of that. Be a part of the whole Comics Curing Cancer. We've got everything kicking off Friday. Thanks to Mark Legion of Comics, Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics, who is here, and DJ Links. Every show, there's a whole series. It's a whole virtual event supported by the American Cancer Society, and all donations go directly to them. We've got links for all of that. And that show, Laugh for Life, is going to be like an old school kind of telethon. We're going to provide some entertainment, and we're going to look for people in the community that's going to be watching that entertainment that will be able to donate to the event. The goal this year, they've stated, is 25,000 or more. Last year, they reached 22 or 23,000. I personally sent off a box of books for the auction too, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that does for the event. And don't forget, down below, the link is down below for everybody watching here live and everybody watching on the replay. The link to Jennifer's GoFundMe is there. The link to the American Cancer Society event is there. The link for all these guys is there to follow them and support them on their content creation adventures and community adventures. And more importantly, Mission 22 is down there as well. All the links are down below, and don't forget to share content around. And if you are a moderator here, to share channel links in the chat. I should have said that earlier. Usually I'm better about it on Wednesdays for some reason, but that's my really long one more thing. God bless.
And for those in the community or like on YouTube and stuff like that, a lot of people in the comments, this is a great opportunity for you to go to a con with like the people on YouTube, because not very rarely can you get to a con that someone's at, but here you have the opportunity to be able to kind of do that, hang out, and do all that jazz. So yeah.
It's a virtual event. Chad Cave, Cosmic One, Rob Mitchell, Three Rivers. Anybody that wants to be on, I can send the link. You guys can come on, tell a dad joke and leave, or tell a funny joke. Now, granted, we want to keep it clean and professional. There's some jokes can go out there a ways. So, there's a green.
Don't get your card pulled.
No, don't get your card pulled, he says. Really quick, Rob. Yes, there's a new Comic Book Day show tomorrow night. It is already scheduled. It is already on the front page of the channel, along with the Laugh for Life. And I think the easiest way to actually do it is to just click on the channel and show you guys that it's all set up and done right there at the top. As we get rid of the screen on screen right there, there's tomorrow's show scheduled. Here's us live now. There's the Laugh for Life. So click the notification, click the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit subscribe, and then hit subscribe on Beyond Wednesdays, and hit subscribe on Ryan's channel and everybody else out there that's part of the community creating content. The more channels you find, the greater the chances are you're going to find the content that you really resonate with.
I need to learn how to dual stream, because I'm on 2 different shows and I'm never going to put it on my own dang channel.
What do you guys call a dog that can perform magic? This is one of my favorites, a Labracadabra doodle.
I know, dude. I was laughing hard when I saw that. Yeah, don't start it, Chad Cave. I see you. You're starting it. I see you.
He's trying.
But yeah, McClay's got a regular schedule on his channel. This channel, we're regularly Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're trying to get back regular again. We are also doing, and I forgot to share this, I'm having so much fun with this. Just one more last thing, just because it's a 30-second thing. 60 seconds thing. It's shorts, man. I'm having so much fun ripping packs and creating series out of this. And these Star Wars cards. I did not realize, McClay. These are now like $350 a box for hobby box on the secondary market, and this is my last box that I opened.
What'd you pay for them?
I think $190.
Nice. How
And
many
that
did you
was
get?
Nice.
I had 2 of them that I was sitting on for a long time, and I finally said, you know what? I got better lighting now. I think the YouTube shorts are going to look better with the better lighting. Let me do this. And I trialed it with like a $40 pack of Punisher Guts and Glory and had a ton
I
of
opened
fun with
those. I opened one of the one
Yeah.
box, a box of those. They have scratch and sniff cards in there that
Yep.
smell like gunpowder. Yeah.
Yep. We hit a scratch and sniff, and we hit one of the what do you call one of the prism cards.
Yeah.
But I will say 48 packs, 10 cards
It's
per
too
pack,
many. Yeah.
480 cards for like a 100 card set. I completed the set of base cards 3 times over
Yeah.
on one box.
I think I'm going to do some openings live. That's what I need to do, really.
This
They're
is,
fun, man.
I found my niche in YouTube shorts that I'm enjoying as far as content creation goes. Yeah, I could make them better. I could be better at editing them, but I can sit down, do a hobby box in less than an hour, and have them all uploaded and done so that they auto upload to YouTube. And it's more fun to share that content, in my opinion, like that. And just the interaction that I'm getting from other people out there that like collecting cards and like doing pack rips is a riot too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. You're part of the reason why I'm back into cards. And not to mention
Britain
Bryan,
is fun.
Yeezy Yee, and all the other great guys.
They call me Rhino the Ripper on the other channel.
Marty, catch the replay, please, and thank you. We're gonna drop out. We're gonna call it a night, and we're gonna go watch Ahsoka. So
Hell yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some grub and watch Ahsoka.
that's where I'm going to. Ryan, how about you?
That probably going to deal with kids.
You can say no. I'm not gonna watch Ahsoka.
No, I watch it, but not tonight. I have to binge it a couple episodes at a time.
We're almost there. Well, you know what that means. No, I can't talk. You know how we're gonna do this, right? We're gonna go peace out. I'm gonna go pinkies out. I'm gonna catch you on the flip side for the next one. Remember the most important part: all day, every day, right, McClay?
Yeah, all day, every day, baby.
Stay original and authentic. Because you and I, we're all we have. We have each other. That's it. Have a good night, everybody.
Oil.
Double up. The money I color. Excuse me while I change. The roller buggy has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty.